my Canonical friends to basically give us a bit of orientation on this, and then we will go dive into more about ELISA as we go. So I think, Teemu? Okay.
Hey everyone, just move the slide along. Ooh. Hi everyone, welcome to our office. My name is Ben. Just going to go over a few sort of housekeeping ground rules for you guys for the next 3 days. So on site this week, we have me, Ellie, and Juliana over there, potentially Jay as well. So if you have any questions about the space itself, come speak to me, or everyone here. So the washrooms, I think a few guys have seen them already, but they're just to the right of the door you came in. So if ever you need to go, they're just there. Fire escape routes are found by following the emergency exit signs to either the grey door in the courtyard, which is just down there, so that way, or through the white door at the end of the central corridor, which is just behind you. And then myself and my colleagues will be like the fire marshals, so we'll lead the way. So the emergency evacuation assembly point is Pottersfield Park, which is just to the right of the building, helpfully behind all the constructions taking place here. But yeah, it's the green space over there, and that's where we'd all head if the fire alarm goes off. We're not expecting any drills over the next few days, so this, likely won't happen. But if it does, that's the way out. First aid is on site today. Again, myself, Ellie, Juliana. And Wi-Fi access, I think most of you guys scanned it already, but it's the QR code there, and there's also a QR code behind you near the snacks, and the reception desk as well. I think lots of you guys are speaking as well over the next few days, so just sort of 5-10 minutes before you speak, if you want to head to the, if you prefer to not use a handheld mic and have sort of more of a headset one, just head to the AV room and they'll set you up with that. And that's more or less it. Any final questions before I hand back to you guys? No? If not, then I'll hand over to my colleagues Jaume and Teemu.
Thanks, Ben. Okay, so first of all, welcome all. We are very proud and happy to have this event here in our offices in London. We want to say hello to everyone. And to begin, I want to introduce myself. So I'm Jaume, the automotive product manager in Canonical. It's pronounced Jaume because everyone is asking me that. And by my side is Teemu. Teemu, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep, I'm Teemu, pronounced Teemu. I'm not sure if I will try the last name. If you're adventurous, it's Kärkkäinen, the proper pronunciation. I'm an industrial standards manager, so I manage our engineering team that works on standards-based engineering, so including automotive, around safety, security, and quality management. So I'll talk a little bit more about what we do briefly, but first, Jaume will talk about Canonical.
Yeah, before we hand over the floor, we want to introduce Canonical, what we do, who we are, and why we are in ELISA. So now you are sitting all in an office. This office, we designed this office in order to symbolize somehow our precision, our attention to detail. And this precision is something that we want to do or to have in mind when we work towards our mission, which is to amplify the impact of open source by making it secure, reliable, and available. These words somehow resonate on what ELISA is doing and the safety part. And for the last more than 20 years, Canonical has been releasing timely releases. Every 6 months, we do a regular release. And every 2 years, we have what we call long-term super releases. And in fact, this year, in April, we launched our latest milestone, the Ubuntu 26.04 LTS, codenamed Resolute Raccoon, which we are very proud. Actually, 2 weeks ago, there was the Ubuntu Summit, also here in the office, to present the new things in this release. So we are not new in the mission critical or automotive landscape. We have been there some time ago. So in that journey started, let's say, in 2011. I wasn't in the company yet, but in 2011, Canonical joined Genevieve. In 2015, we had the first collaboration with NVIDIA inside the automotive industry or stage. Then in 2024, we had the collaboration with Electrobit for the Electrobit Corvus Linux for safety application. And last year, 2025, we were the first one achieving 21434 cybersecurity certifications, covering the entire portfolio of Canonical of Ubuntu, which is huge. And finally, this year, as it was commented and said by our CEO during the Ubuntu Summit, we are expanding our collaboration with NVIDIA towards the work on safety Linux. Then all this heritage all the work that we are doing in automotive, now we are bringing it into the automotive landscape, mission critical, in the form of Ubuntu Pro. Ubuntu Pro is our product. It has present across all the digital landscape in cloud, public and private clouds, in containers deployments, workstation for developments, and of course in devices, in embedded devices, like it could be ECUs in terms of automotive or other IoT devices. All of this is backed by our support of 30,000 open source packages. All of them we are providing 15 years of security maintenance, API stability, regression testing, and the important thing also, the ISO certification for all those packages. And how we do that, this is something that Teemu can now dig a little bit into it and explain what is the engineering behind that.
Yeah, thank you. So, can I get clicker? So, I only have one slide. So, what Jaume was really describing is the fundamental mission of Linux distribution vendors, which is to bring as much of the world's open source into as many places as possible, whether it's servers running in public or private clouds, whether it's workstations, laptops, edge devices, everywhere. And I think we are all here because we all care about one corner of that mission, which is to bring open source to mission critical systems. And these are systems where the software can potentially physically harm people or property, and which, as a result, there is a demand for dependable software, for software that is secure, that is quality managed, and that is safe, and regulations and industrial standards and certifications that enforce that. So that's something we're all very familiar in this room, right? We've worked on this world. Now, there is the other side of our open source ecosystem, which is the foundation, the open source projects themselves, which there is a huge variety with a large diversity of building, different ways of building, designing, architecting, and thinking about how software should be built. And the fundamental goal of those projects is often exactly the same. It is those projects want to build software that other people, anyone in fact, can depend on. But it's very far removed from the type of standards-based engineering that we often talk about. And I think as distribution vendor, like our fundamental core job is to try to bridge those worlds so that we can bring open source also into these mission critical industries and systems. And the way we think about this in Canonical is through the lens of dependable software. So we break this down into 3 pillars that reinforce each other: of security, of quality management, of safety. And you can't really imagine a safe system if it has security vulnerabilities, or you can't build a safe system if you don't have controlled quality management processes. So we're working on these 3 pillars, and as all of us probably know, often from painful experience, this is difficult, and it's a long journey. And some parts of this, like Jaume was saying, security, for example, we've been doing this for 20 years. And what we've recently done is we showed that those processes that we developed over 20 years to produce safe software, safe distribution, that those same processes, we could actually take them and go and get them certified for automotive cybersecurity, ISO 21434, and for industrial security. So we're not doing things differently, but the maturity of those processes meets the requirements of also these mission critical systems. But of course, there is a lot more to this. It's a long journey. We're working on quality management. So the same kind of idea that we need to build in the engineering processes, the controllable engineering processes that generate the traceable evidence, the quality evidence for these systems, and that matches potentially the different standards from the different industries like ASPICE in automotive or ISO 9001. But this is a long journey. And of course here, the next 3 days, we're talking about safety, right? And this is something that takes a long commitment to do. And this is something that distribution vendors, fundamentally what we do is we make that long commitment. And that's the commitment that Canonical is making, is building these pillars systematically over a long period of time. And it's also a very exciting journey, right? Because not only are we building the actual machines, the kind of dependable mission critical systems, and looking into the technical safety mechanisms to ensure freedom from interference, or the technical security mechanisms to stop and control threats. But we're also building the machine that builds the machine. So we're looking at the different aspects of the whole engineering lifecycle process. And that makes it very challenging and very difficult problem, but also a very exciting problem. And I think in open source, when you have these challenging problems, the way you tackle them is as a community. And that's why I'm very happy that we can host you, this community here, for the next 3 days. And we really believe that this is the kind of community that we want to work with in order to get down this path to build these pillars of dependability. So I hope you enjoy your 3 days. I hope you enjoy these talks and go home with some fresh new ideas, maybe some new problems to work on, and maybe even some solutions. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your next 3 days.
This is, now we have the extension, we don't have the audio yet. It happens to, no, it works. It happens to me quite often that I want to start some presentation or so, and I was actually in a presentation talking for 5 minutes, and I was speaking up in my normal voice, and like in the speaking voice being a bit louder, and this way after 5 minutes I said, oh wait, you're still on mute, we forgot to switch on the recording. Right, but I hope we will have a very professional setup today, and we had the last minute change from Zoom to Google Meet, but I see we have virtual participants, which is very good. Of course, it's even much better to be in person, and whenever you do a workshop you will see there's something new, something unexpected happening. I think I had so many swaps today and during the last days, which I normally not expected. The first time on my new laptop, which has still a lot of space because my one is normally filled with stickers. Then we had, unfortunately, 2 last no shows, so to say, but they are joining virtually, so we'll see when we come to the agenda. Anyway, I think it will be a good experience. I hope also for the virtual participants. And then let me just go through the formalities. First of all, thank you so much, Canonical, for hosting us in this great place. And if you haven't been, you need to at least go to this side there to do a nice view to the London Bridge, or to the Tower Bridge, and then to the London Tower of London, and all the nice buildings like the walkie-talkie and the Gurken and so on, which I learned from Colin during lunch. Then, organizational overview. So, first of all, it's very important to take a look at the Linux Foundation Antitrust Policy Notice. We don't have an own one, we take the one from LF. In short, here are people who are potentially competitors, even if we collaborate in the open. So you should stick to the technical essence of what we are discussing. Don't talk about timelines, when you release a product, what it costs, all these kind of things you would normally not talk about. Also, don't talk here. Just imagine it's really the competitive environment still. And also be aware we are here and doing the work under Creative Commons. So whatever has been said will be in an anonymous way being also written down. We take some notes for the participant. These will not be shared publicly later, and because it just causes confusion if you read through some simple notes, but we will share the presentation, we share a blog post, we will take a group picture later. If you don't want to be on the picture, don't go on the picture. And don't complain afterwards if you're not on the picture, because we also had this. So basically also be aware we will use it for social media promotion, so you will end up on LinkedIn with this picture. This is basically related also to presentations and recordings. We will record everything. I haven't heard from anyone that the person will not want to see his or her face on the recording. So we'll keep this. Will be later on published. Now it's streamed already, and you'll see it in the directory for the material, for the YouTube channel, and all these kind of things. And therefore, as it's public, as it's getting recorded, follow a code of conduct, and in simplified words, be excellent to each other. So this is the code of conduct. And if you do a code of conduct breach, I may use the mighty and the power to throw you out. I hope it's not me. Then last part is Chatham House rule. We always ask for those who are willing to waive Chatham House rule. Most waive Chatham House rule. In principle, it means what is in the room stays in the room. Still be aware we have the virtual recordings and people get in touch. So if you show your affiliation, tell who you are, the people will know. But in principle, if you later on leave, even if we waive Chatham House rule, it's more polite to say there were people having this opinion and that, and don't mention the company affiliation. And not everybody who is here will speak for their company and more act as an individual. Right. This said, we come maybe to a very brief round table. Let's see if we also manage to do it with the virtuals. That's what we normally do. And you will then, I think it's good when they type in the chat. That the easiest one, just briefly from myself, as I haven't introduced myself previously. Most of you should know me. I'm Philipp. I'm the Technical Steering Committee Chair of the ELISA projects just in the last 3 years. I'm with ELISA since 2019, so from the very first workshop onwards. I've joined all the workshops, all the virtual ones, and I'm with ETAS, which is a subsidiary of Bosch. Bosch is the member company of ELISA since 2019, more or less. I'm also the systems workgroup host. I'm still doing a little of automotive work there, so we will see this later on. I'm also responsible for the Lighthouse workgroup, so we have later on a standards presentation by Wendy, where I also participate a little bit. And this basically made me also come to this workshop. I'm curious since 6 years. Normally I leave my work after like 3 to 4 years, but now is it. And I guess we just go around.
I'll be next. I'm Kate Stewart. I'm the director for this effort project. I work for the Linux Foundation. Been at the Linux Foundation now for 11 years. Before that, I was at Lenaro, and before that, I was here. I was at Canonical back when they were over in Millbank. I was Ubuntu's release manager for a few years, so it's kind of neat to see how much things have changed. I have to admit, it's kind of very cool. And with that, I was very active in the medical group for a while, and right now I'm just mostly focusing on how we can get SPDX interacting with the requirements and with requirements in software architecture. And I'll pass it to Nicole. We'll just keep the microphone going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So hi, I'm Nicole. For those of you that might not know me, I'm a safety consultant with Electrometis. I'm in ELISA. I also think the system is done. The system. I've been active in the medical, now I'm in the systems and in the Lighthouse working group. I'm besides the ELISA stuff, I'm the safety manager of the Zephyr project. I work together with the Zen people, and together with Kate, I build the SPDX safety profiles. So yeah, a lot of safety and open source.
Well, if you don't remember me, I'm Jaume.
Hello, I'm Gabriele Paoloni. I am a senior principal engineer at Red Hat, where I'm basically my role is functional safety expert, mainly focused on community and customer engagement. Within ELISA, I'm the governing board chairman and also the lead of the safety architecture working group. So now, technically, my main focus is the same as Kate, so we're trying to figure out how to define and maintain the requirements, test specification along but outside the news kernel mainline. And yeah, I'm looking forward to to discuss with you and to get your feedbacks. Next.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I am Grant Likely and I'm with ARM. For the past 5 years I've been the CTO of Lenaro, working on ARM ecosystem enablement, helping partners work together. And now I'm starting something new where Lenaro is fairly limited on who is involved. There's a new organization called Core Collective, which is much wider. It's free membership, so for everyone to join. The reason it's of value to this is, as we're running into topics of technical issues where we have to work together around the ARM architecture and being able to pull the right ARM people in, this is a place that we can do that. So I'm here to represent that.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Mika. I'm coming from Canonical too. I'm an engineer in Teemu's team, Industrial Standards. I joined Canonical almost 2.5 years ago. I joined ELISA together with Canonical 2 years ago. I'm actually an alternate governing board member for ELISA. Here at Canonical, as you have seen, we have a maturity journey and a great commitment to functional safety and Linux, and we are here to learn and to share and to collaborate.
Hello, my name is Vivek Pardataya. I work for a company called Gleva GmbH in Germany. We make timing analysis product. So I am responsible for ASPICE, functional safety and cybersecurity of our products. And I'm here to understand how I can improve my company's goal in achieving safety and security for our product for legacy-based solutions. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ayan. I'm coming from AMD, and at AMD we are doing the functional safety certification for the Zen hypervisor. And what brings me here is to understand the possible points of collaboration with Linux, with the other community members, Canonical, ARM, because essentially what we are doing is we are safety certifying Zen as safety element out of context, which opens a lot of room for the other surrounding components like the architecture, the VMs, and everything to fit in. So I'm trying to understand the gaps and how we can fit in.
Hello everyone, my name is Mikhail. I've been working, so together with Ayan, we work on Zen functional safety at AMD. I've been working on Zen for the last 6-7 years. I'm a Zen upstream maintainer and committer, and for the last few years, together with Ayan and our virtualization group at AMD, we are trying to to basically make progress in Zen safety certification.
Hello, I'm Paul Albatella. I work for CodeThink. I've been involved in ELISA since the first workshop, yeah. Which was shortly after I joined CodeThink as well. I'm also the chair of the open source engineering process working group here at ELISA, where we talk about boring things like safety arguments, the sort of thing you might actually need if you want to get a safety certificate. Which I'll be talking about a bit later. But I'm also very interested in Linux, and I keep getting drawn down into the technical discussions about it, so I have to try and stay focused on the safety outcomes. I'm also one of the project leads of the Trustable Software Framework over at the Eclipse Foundation, which is one of our attempts to express how open source projects can gather and record and kind of construct these arguments about why what they do is actually useful and trustable. But I'm looking forward to hearing about what everybody else has been doing and showing some of the things I've been looking at.
Hi, I'm Paul Barker. I work for the Yocton project, which is another collaborative project under Linux Foundation. My role is ecosystems engineering lead, which means I do a mix of technical work, organizational work, and community engagement. And we have a lot of users who use embedded Linux in various different types of mission critical or safety applications, a lot of kind of homogeneous systems where you'll have Linux and some sort of RTOS involved. And yeah, here to learn some more and hopefully have some good conversations.
Thanks. Hello, I'm Paul Janssen. I'm the founder and the CEO of Kärkkäinen Software. We are a Dutch small company. We are specialized in measuring code quality. We do that for a lot of companies worldwide. And we are trying to measure the ISO 25010. I don't know whether that is known here in this group. That was recently changed, and there was one category added, and that is safety. And that's the reason why I'm here, to hear more about what's happening in the safety domain, and is that something we can check automatically.
Hello, I'm Wendy. I'm a process engineer at Open by Toyota in Japan. I'm a contributor to the Lighthouse OSS here in ELISA. I'm a software heritage ambassador. I also initiated and organized the LLVN qualification working group. And so what made me come here is because I'm going to K2 sessions one tomorrow and the day after. So one about software heritage and software Hatch ID, and another one about OSS best practices frameworks. It's a comparison of several frameworks, including trustable with respect to the Lighthouse checklist. And I keep a close eye to the OSEP group, by the way. Yes, silently. But yeah, but I'm interested, so I should talk to you later.
Thank you, Wendy. My name is Matthew Salazar. I'm working for Canonical. You see the orange one. And I'm the head of automotive at Canonical. I'm working with the team with Jaume, Teemu, and Michael on providing everyone great products for safety. I'm in automotive since 2010, so got good experience in automotive. I love this industry, even though it's a complicated time, but I think we can do a lot as well in this industry. So nice to have the meeting this week and engage with all of you. Thank you.
Hello, Igor Stoppa. I work for NVIDIA for the last 4 years and a half, and I've been participating in ELISA for about 4 years. I work on safety hardening for the Linux kernel, and I have a presentation about it later today, Thursday.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicola Dimiscio, I work for NVIDIA. I started in automotive in 2001, left automotive because I found strangled by processes and safety requirements. Went to telecom thinking that it would have been funnier. Lots of standards there as well. Went to NVIDIA to have a bit of fun, and I found myself back in automotive in NVIDIA. And so now I'm here to present how we are adopting AI to help becoming more efficient in processes that are really heavy loaded, and for products in automotive that have become extremely complex, like the DriveOS operating system that NVIDIA produces. It's essential that we try and become much more efficient. So I'll show tomorrow how we're adopting AI for that. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Alessandro Carminati. I work for NVIDIA. I'm a Linux architect for safety. And I also involved in ELISA, I would say. I'm a chair of the Linux Feature Working Group. I've been pedant on this, so please join the Linux Feature Working Group. In any case, I have also a presentation, so I think I could give you a few motivation why you want to join the working group. So, thank you.
Eli Govitz, also from NVIDIA. I'm also a member of the Safe Linux team at NVIDIA. I was more active in ELISA about 6 years ago when I worked on Intel's safety concept. I like tools very much because tools keep me away from production and things that can have catastrophes and high visibility and all this kind of stuff. So I'm working on tools. I'll be presenting what we do for static code analysis tomorrow, and I have some ideas for the tools working group going forward.
I'm Daniel Weingärtner. I work for Red Hat. I started at Red Hat for working on an autonomous driving project for trains. So I looked into Linux on the railway systems, and that's why I started with ELISA as well. Main reason I'm here is because I do not manage to participate in all the working groups I would like to during my week. So I keep an eye on them like you do. I sometimes I like very much the summaries you post, because if you can't go to the meeting, you at least can read what's happening, and then I might even join. But what I do here, right, is to gather a little bit more from everything a little bit. And that's the opportunity I would like to at least once a year join, and that's what I'm here to do right now, to do something on the groups I can't.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I work for Validas. We are specialized in tool and library qualification. And I try to make that my customers have to read and to spend very little time with safety, and to make this as efficient as possible.
Hello, I'm Olivier Charrier. I'm working for WinRiver. I'm principal technologist in functional safety. What does that mean is my everyday job. It's to make sure that people engaging with WinRiver make good and safe use of operating system and basic software to be able to reach formal certification for their system. I'm doing that for more than 25 years now. And what I joined ELISA, I think, for the very first workshop, the face-to-face one, like Paul. And what I found out, it's a great place to talk about what you can do with Linux in safety critical system today and build the future. So that's why I'm here.
Hi everyone, I'm Luigi. I work at Red Hat, and I spent the last 15 years in automotive working with quality management and software quality for automotive. And I'm a part of the technical steering committee of ELISA, and I'm here because there are, I think, many reasons to be here. One is to want to understand what we can do to restart the tool working group. That's really interesting. It's a good time also, and how many times we can say AI and what we can do with AI also in the working group.
I'm Henrik Brentle, research assistant at the Institute for Rail Vehicles at RWTH Aachen University since about 2.5 years ago. And my main job here is to bring you all of the worst railway puns you've ever heard in the next 3 days. What brings me here mainly, though, is that I'm the chair of the newly founded Railway Special Interest Group, about which I will give you a short introduction tomorrow. We've had our first meeting by now, so it's kind of established by now.
Hi there, my name's Colin King, and my affiliation, well, I'm currently retired. I work on StressNG, I'm the main developer, and I basically keep care of that project. And I'd just like to say thank you very much to the ELISA Foundation. They've given me some funding to keep that project ticking over and doing releases like every 6 weeks or so. Previous history, I used to work for Canonical as a kernel engineer, then Intel, stress testing their new processors, and then NVIDIA for a little while also. So yeah, my affiliation is lots of different places. And what made me come to this workshop, I've been invited to give a talk on StressNG, but I'm also really interested to learn more about this domain, this space here, and get to know folks. And if anyone's got ideas for stress tests, let me know and I want to implement them for you.
Thank you. My name is Martin Sigumfeldt. I'm from a small Danish company called Gumspace. So we do micro and nano satellites, mainly targeting low Earth orbit. I'm here for the first time. I haven't contributed anything. I'm here to learn. I'm here to figure out what's up and down. Obviously, mainly interested in the space interest.
Thank you, everyone. So, online we have David Hamilton, and he's from General Motors in Warren, Michigan, and he is a staff software engineer there. Susan Remmert is joining us. She's a product marketer for the ELISA project, and she's coming in from Linux Foundation. Jan Altenberg from OSADL is joining us. And he is the director of R&D over from Germany. And he'll be giving us a presentation in a bit. We also have Takahashi Ninjuchi, and he is joining us from Honda R&D, and he's the manager of the ROSPO. Christopher Modig is from Frontgrade Geisler in Sweden, and he's a senior software engineer. Saad, and I'm apologizing to anyone online that if I mispronounce your name, please forgive me. Saad Albatumi. He's a senior embedded Linux and FPGA integration engineer at iSpace EU from Luxembourg. And then there's Yuchi Kusakabe, and he is from Honda Motors and is an ELISA member, and he'll be presenting shortly. And then there's Harun, sorry, I'm just tired now.
Kurokawa-san from Renesas.
Kurokawa-san is coming in from Renesas. And he's a senior manager of automotive SoC. And then we have Anton Ivanov from NVIDIA in Germany, and he's a senior safety architect for Linux inside the ELISA, and he's now serving as the new automotive working group lead. And then we have Alessandro Biaschi, who's the technical leader of operating systems at Huawei Automotive Division. And so that's who we've got coming online. Okay. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Philipp.
And I go back to my... the roundtable always take longer than expected. That's why we are basically 5 minutes over time, but we keep up again. Just to get you a glimpse on schedule, marked red here is the most important thing, is the break. And just that we take a group picture. I'm pretty sure we find someone who will take a picture of us. At 3:30, this gives us also like the interrupt. We'll have after soon the Ask Me Anything session. This is like a stretch session because typically discussion. Heard about some people already who are in the ELISA for a longer time. Typically Gap supports me a bit. Active, so Mikael will present this. Before we have then the virtual participation, I wish Jan a speedy recovery because really wanted to be here in person, but due to recent accidents, didn't happen as it should. So he will come virtually. Looking forward to this presentation. And Satish, was joining the ELISA workshop in Munich, which we had at Red Hat last year in November. And he joined there for the first time and said, well, I bring some time and some interest in doing more. And he will present about his work from the watchdog software parts, so basically like doing the safety monitoring. Another virtual presentation by Kusa Kabe-san, who also planned to be here, but due to sudden things, he had to stay in Japan. Very late for him, but he's used to it, as I remember. And yeah, we also have a session on functional safety with them. This will be here, and thanks for being here. Then we wrap up day one, and the second most important thing, also we have the dinner. Participate. We are a little bit of struggling here and there, but I hope everybody found food. In order to find the way, the QR code basically are the coordinates, like whatever. So you get these direction there, or you go to OpenStreetMap, or whatever. The location is always the same. It's half. Get there, 7 minutes walk if you're fast, I guess. That's what Google proposes, so it's Google speed. And then afterwards we go, oh, I go back, you can scan once more. Then comes day two. I will show day two agenda anyway tomorrow morning again. It will be an AI morning until the break. Then we change over to some more documentation side of it with the SPDX modeling and also some insights from software heritage and software HID support, which Wendy will bring in on the second session. So she already mentioned. Then we go for lunch. Colin will give the presentation on stress. We will get some small lightning talk session, basically just 15 minutes, which can be used then to discuss further during the upcoming break afterwards. And then we have a swap on the agenda if you took a screenshot before, but there's a small conflict by Pete, who joins remotely to the session, and therefore for swapping, it was easy to swap because the sessions are on the same length. Nicole will tell us a bit more on what we expect from a safety manual, and then we have the technical session on the PUC, so we would have fit originally better in this theme, but we do a little bit of break, and then we go into the kernel requirements, which we discussed already at Plumbers a bit, so we'll get the latest status there, and I think based on the morning and all the discussions we had, this will be a good ending of the first day. Third day is a short day, half day, far less sessions, a little bit longer ones. We'll get the update on the NVIDIA. I need to change the title because, but I kept it in like the last minute style and my slides earlier. So all good. I think the virtual, or not, the website is updated. The content remains very similar, I guess. I'll update it until Thursday. And we'll talk a bit about the Lighthouse, SIG activities and comparison frameworks. It's also continuation from last one, and I don't know how much we will talk about what we need as a process at all. Maybe we finish a bit earlier. It depends on you how much you want to discuss about it. But then we wrap up, and if you still don't have enough about all these workshop things and going out, there's the Fringe event with the Zephyr meetup. You scan the QR code, you go to the Zephyr page or whatever, then you could do something in the evening. And this is mainly it. The next thing would be the project orientation, but I move over for the project orientation to the other slide set.